Nice job.
All right. Can everybody hear me? Yes. Okay. Oh, I have to. Okay. Well, thank you guys for hopping on the Wellness Warriors Tuesday night 10 call. I am Megan McClenny, and I am so excited to get to hear some great testimonies and some experiences. And tonight I'm going to be highlighting the product of MegaX. So I have a little story about MegaX. So anyway, I think we will jump in. I want to be really cognizant and of everyone's time. And we have a special guest tonight, Jodie. Jodie, well, she's from the US, but she lives in Canada. Where in the world are you tonight?
Hey, I am in northwestern Ontario. You go right up to Minnesota and then about 2.5 hours north of that. And we have snow all over the place here.
Ah, okay. Yeah, we. I was putting out mulch this weekend, and my parents were jealous because they were shoveling snow. So I can see that look on your face. You are
Yes,
not doing mulch yet. No.
no.
Okay.
I am from South Carolina and I'm really missing the daffodils about now.
Oh, yeah, and the tulips. Well, Jodie, I don't think I've ever heard your health testimony. So thank you for hopping on and sharing that with us tonight. I guess I'll just mute myself and take it away for us.
All right. Well, it is such an honor to be here. Thanks, Whitney, for the invite. And honestly, I didn't even think about I didn't stop to think about how many from your team I would know. So I just feel kind of right at home here. It's been a pleasure interacting with many of you in different capacities. My journey with Plexus started, oh my, nine, 9.5 years ago. Believe it or not, I actually often forget this part of my story. The first product that I ever fell in love with Plexus is not a product you hear very much about, but it is our body cream. And that is because, and so if you've never used the body cream, it is, and it's not talked about enough. Um, but my friend, I had talked to her like about Slim and some of the other things, but she had told me that this could help me with my stretch marks. I was pregnant with baby number 4, and I'm like, well, you know what? I think I could do the body cream. I made that whole bottle stretch my entire pregnancy. And you guys, it was wonders for my stretch marks. Honestly, to this day, I've had 4 babies and I hardly have any stretch marks. And I feel like that has helped so much. But then fast forward um, a few more months later, and I decided to really give this Plexus stuff a try. And a big holdback for me in all we've been a missionary family up here in Ontario for 17 years, very little income. And of course, I was concerned if I do love those products, how in the world am I going to pay for it? But I just know it was God prompting me. Don't worry about that. Honestly, don't worry about that. Just give it a try. I was tired of being tired when I decided to try, and I definitely noticed a difference in my energy. That was probably one of the first things. And even my husband noticed. I didn't even tell him that I was like drinking this pink drink thing. And he noticed about 3 weeks in. He's like, wow, like you're not so tired and dragging by supper time like you normally are. And right then I was like, I don't even have to convince him. So the products really are wonderful. Um, I ordered my triplex combo, and about a month or so later, I added an X Factor Plus, and it didn't take him very long to say, you know what? I'm not really doing much of anything intentional for my health. Like maybe I should just do this with you. And I was so grateful. He has been so consistent and faithful. He has his own story. But honestly, energy, that was the main thing that I wanted. And definitely noticed that. I was also dealing with things like bloating and anxiety, seasonal allergies. Every year I would get laryngitis, but I didn't even think about these products helping me with that, because I just thought all those things were normal. But I would say about 8 months in, and I'm telling you, there were Well, another thing that I noticed was definitely my bowel movements got more regular. That was something that I would always struggle with. But about 8 months in, no, maybe 6 or 8 months in, I was like getting inconsistent. I was like, I don't really know what all this is going to do for me. Meanwhile, a lot had been happening inside. Um, but I got inconsistent, and suddenly I was like so overwhelmed with anxiety. And I still remember standing in my kitchen out there for this went on for 2 days. And I had this moment where I was standing in my kitchen going, this is so familiar, but I haven't felt this for so long. And why? And that's when it hit me. This is just like my anxiety kicking in. And I hadn't noticed this since back the beginning of the year and I'm like, oh my word, I started these products. I think this might be it. I've not been consistent with them. I got back consistent, really started to notice a difference again. And then you know what I did? And then I went and started researching gut health and anxiety because I'm like, I want to know how this is connected. Um, and then about a year in, I wasn't getting my usual like seasonal allergy bouts where my eyes were itchy and my nose was stuffy and I would struggle to sleep at night because you can't sleep when you can't breathe. And I would also get laryngitis for like an entire week, at least 4 to 5 days, um, every year, sometimes a couple times a year. I was known as a person who got laryngitis. And I had like that just became a thing of the past. Now, full transparency and honesty, I did get laryngitis just this past year. But you guys, for 9 years, I didn't have it. Um, it's amazing what happens with consistency when you give your body something to support it and help it to function as it's intended to function. Okay, and then like fast forward. So like that was kind of in my first year. Um, and I would say about every year to 18 months, I would have another wow, aha moment. Oh my word, my sugar cravings aren't so crazy anymore. I'm not craving that Dr. Pepper and the chocolate chips in the afternoon. I love to sew. I can sit in my sewing room in the afternoon and not be sewing for about 10 minutes and then have to put my head down on the ironing board to go take a nap. Literally, that's I was known for that as well. So just the simple things. Um, about so the last 2, 3 years, I've been in the beautiful stage of perimenopause. I mean, don't we all just love it? Um, and I started dealing with things that I'm like, what even is this? And one of the things was I had very limited movement in my shoulder. Like I think it was like a frozen shoulder. My chiropractor was sure frozen shoulder, rotator cuff, yada yada. I've since learned this is kind of a common thing with perimenopause. Um, and I was on the wait list for physical therapy. And here in Canada, it takes a long time to get in for those things. I was on the wait list for 9 months. And in those 9 months, I decided I was going to get really consistent with my collagen. I was going to do some resets. And I think I started taking E's a little more regular than what I had before. And when I got my call, like I could hardly clean my sink like this because I couldn't move my arm. It was hard to comb my hair and all the things. I got the call for physical therapy and they're like, so we have an opening for you. And she started talking to me a little bit. And she goes, I actually don't think you need to come see us. And I'm like, actually, you're right. I don't. So saved me a ton of money, you guys. And also not just money, like my quality of life was so much better. Um, and then soon after that, I started dealing with the hot flashes and the night sweats. And oh my word, at first it was chills. That was the first thing I noticed. Um, so I added in our X Factor Plus, huge difference. Like X Factor Plus and Vital Biome at night made all the difference for me for being able to sleep without like waking up in these horrible sweats. Um, I mean, a couple other things. My girls, they used to deal with a lot of eczema, and it's just hardly a thing anymore unless they get inconsistent with their kids' vitamins. My older daughters all my girls are from ages 20 down to 9. They all use some sort of our products. And my girls have very little monthly, when they have their monthly cycle, very little pain and issues with that. And their friends are struggling so much with it. And when they do, they go for the ease. They know it helps, and it really does. Usually, Slim, Ease, and Active really helps to take care of those really hard days for them. Um, and, like I was telling you in the beginning, I didn't want to start because I was like, I don't know how I'm going to pay for this. We were not making much money at all. Honestly, what I didn't realize was this was going to become the thing that helped us with our finances, because about a year in, I decided to start talking about these products and start sharing. It has blessed our family so much, honestly. And here's what my husband has told me multiple times. He's like, with everything that happened during COVID, he's like, if it wouldn't have been for our Plexus income, he's like, we would have had to sell our house and move out and find something else. And honestly, I can't even comprehend that happening. Um, and that's just one of the blessings. So that's my
Thank you,
story.
Jodie. So many, and I learned some things because you took me back a little bit. I remember my mom having frozen shoulder when she, like, and I was just like, oh, she's old because she's menopausal, right? I completely forgot about frozen shoulder, so that's really cool. I'm a few years older than you, so I have already completed menopause. Check, according to my doctor. But I notice when I don't take X Factor, that's when I'll get flush and hot at work. And if I'm consistent with X Factor, not a thing. And like you, I struggled with anxiety and depression pretty bad. You got inconsistent. I full on quit. I got like great results. And then I was like, well, I'd probably feel just as good if I drank lemon water in the morning. So I took, probiotics from the drugstore or whatever. And yeah, my husband asked me to go back on.
And
So,
my husband kept telling me, no, you're not going to fit. Like I would tell him, maybe we
okay,
just won't order this month.
right,
You just see those dollar bills and you're like,
right.
we need this somewhere else. He's like,
Mhm.
no.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I am going to talk a little bit about MegaX, and then we're going to have we've got a couple new Fast Start Silvers that are going to share. Jodie, thank you for your time, and we value it so much. Feel free to stay on, but feel free to hop off as well. And I thank you so much. So I'm going to talk about MegaX, you guys. We try to highlight different products, and I know body cream has been on Stacy Orr's radar. That's when she wants to highlight. She absolutely loves that. So I love that you mentioned that as well. MegaX it's our, if you haven't heard of it, it is our plant-based omega supplement. And so like in the supplement world, if you see 3, 6, 9, you're like, oh, that's a good one, right? And a lot of people, their doctors tell them to take fish oil. And honestly, I don't know why. I don't know why anyone would take fish oil and get one strain of omegas when they could have 3, 6, 5, 7, and 9 in this one. And I used to think it was all from the ahi flower, but I read the label tonight to try to prepare, and it's not just the ahi flower. Let me bring up the note on my phone. It is also pomegranate seed oil. Hang on. X Factor. No, not X Factor. MegaX. Here we go. Okay, so it is also. Oh, I saved it in the wrong place, you guys. Okay, here we go. Avocado oil, pomegranate seed oil, sea buckthorn berry oil. Okay, I am not one of the, like hippie people that knows all of the herbs, right? I have no idea what sea buckthorn berry oil is, but it grows in adverse habitats and bears hundreds of orange berries off their stems. So it provides the omega 7s. There's broccoli seed oil. It's practically vegetables. You're practically getting your vegetables when you take this, and raspberry seed oil. So it's all plant-based. And the benefits of all of these omegas. So I wrote down the benefits of omegas in general. So omegas, omega 3s especially, are amazing for the brain and ADHD. They help improve how dopamine is produced and used in the brain, and that can impact your motivation, your focus, and your impulse control. Omegas also have anti-inflammatory effects. If you are newer to Plexus, let me tell you, every single Plexus product has something in it to bring down inflammation, because the less inflammation you have in the body, the healthier you are. It helps with mood and emotional regulation. They can help support mood stability, help with irritability, frustration, and emotional ups and downs. Omega 5s have antioxidant power. They help with your metabolic health. They can improve your liver function. And it has anti-inflammatory effects, combating oxidative stress, and potential. We don't like to, make huge claims, but potential omega 5s have potential anti-cancer properties, especially in breast cancer. There's a lot of research around that. Omega 7s, amazing for your cardiovascular health, and your skin and mucous membranes, and your metabolic support, again, making you more sensitive to insulin, which is a good thing. I also like omega 7s because it's known as the beauty omega. So it helps improve your skin elasticity and hair health. I think most people know that omegas are great for your heart and your brain. I had a ophthalmologist. I lived in Las Vegas for 10 years, and he told me everybody in the desert needs to be taking omegas because it improves your tear quality. So I have struggled, and I don't know if it's a perimenopause thing or just, late 40s thing, but I have struggled with dry eye, and like big time. And I'm a dental hygienist, and I wear loupes during the day. And so I need to wear my contacts, and my contacts were like practically falling out, and I would be tearing like big time. And so I would have to, and then my skin would get sore, and I'd have to take the contacts out for a few days. And it was a whole thing. It got better when I switched to a more expensive contact. There are better, better brands of everything. But it wasn't until I started consistently taking MegaX, which I started taking because all 4 of my grandparents died of heart disease. And I was like, okay, gotta, prevention, right? So I started taking it for heart health, but my dry eye completely went away. And I took it very consistently. And then I wanted to take the Restore and the Balance thing. So I left MegaX out of my last order, and I went without it for a month, and my dry eye came back, and I was going through contacts like a couple of pairs a day. It was so frustrating. And I was like, oh my gosh, just that kind of like aha moment, like Jodie mentioned. So also amazing for tear production. Are there any other MegaX users on the call or lovers on the call who have anything else to add that I might have forgotten? No, I don't see any hands. Okay. Well, hopefully that was helpful. I highly, highly recommend MegaX. I didn't know that there was a huge connection between ADHD and omegas until I got into Plexus, and we started helping, moms with kids with that, and people were like, MegaX, MegaX, MegaX. So you can go down the rabbit hole of that on Google or YouTube. There's a female doctor that has a series of videos. She treats children, and she has a series of videos about how beneficial omegas are for that. So that was interesting to me. So that's our product highlight for tonight. Now we have 2 new Fast Start Silvers. We have Kaylee, and is Kari on the call as well? Yes. Okay. Oh, there she is. Okay. Kari, are you willing to unmute yourself and share a little bit about your journey so far?
I am. Thank you for the MegaX, because I just went to the eye doctors because I was having the same problem. So that's definitely going in my next cart because I have super dry eyes. Like, it's been it's been crazy. So I'm really,
So
really glad that you
frustrating.
talked about that.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear how it goes for you.
Yeah, I'm
Yes,
excited. I'm
yes.
like an eye drop twice a day right now before bed and when I get up in the morning because they're terrible, especially in the morning, I find.
Yeah,
So,
and those eye drops, like the good ones are like 25, $30 for a little tiny bottle.
mhm.
And I'm like, I'd rather pour that money into this and have it help everything,
Yeah,
right?
for sure, for sure.
Yeah,
So, anyways, this is like way out of my comfort zone doing this talk. So,
mine too.
yeah,
Welcome.
thanks. So,
Yeah.
just wanted to say that I've known Carol for quite some time, and I've been following her on Facebook and, watching her drink her drinks and look fantastic. But what really got me was when she started talking about her sleep,
Mm.
because I'm in that stage of my life where sleep's terrible, night sweats are terrible. So I was like, you know what? It's time. I need to start doing this for myself. And I'm really glad I did. So I got my products on my birthday, March 11th. So
Oh,
I
happy birthday.
Thank you. So I started taking them on the 12th. And the things that I've noticed so far, aside from losing 7 pounds, is I know, fantastic.
Amazing. Uh-huh.
I'm pretty excited about that. And I've tried everything and I told Carol that, right? I did the Contrave, I've done the Weight Watchers, I've done everything. And I think I'm just at that stage in my life that nothing was working. Nothing
Mhm.
was working.
Yeah.
So I'm super, super excited that I started doing this. And like I said, I've only been doing it for 2 weeks, but in that little short amount of time, my sleep has improved 110%.
Love it.
Um, no more night sweats, which is like crazy.
Mhm.
Crazy. Sugar cravings are gone. I did write some points down because, like I said, this is kind of out of my comfort zone. So I wanted to make sure I got everything in there. Um, the junk food, that was my thing. I'm like super super sweet person, love to have my cookies at night or ice cream at night with the boys, and that's gone, like
Mm.
gone. I don't crave sugar at 3 o'clock in the afternoon at work. Like I don't have that crash anymore. So fantastic. I'm super super excited that I started using this. And then Carol and I have been talking, and I said, like, I need to share this now. Like, I need to tell people how I've been feeling. I put a post up on Facebook, and I'm pretty active on Facebook. We do have billets, so we take in hockey players from literally around the world. I have two living with me right now. One's from Latvia and one's from Belarus.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
wow.
pretty cool. So, aside from being, extremely busy, so I'm really active on Facebook, and I think within 24 hours, with Carol's super super supportive help, I was able to get four of my friends to join on this journey.
So
So
now you're going to get a vibration plate.
I know. And
And
funny story about that, I've had a vibration plate in my Amazon cart for like a month and never hit the submit button on it. And I'm so glad I didn't and so excited to have earned it. So yeah, that's
yeah,
an
meant
added
to
bonus.
be. And you got your products covered.
Yeah, yeah.
Some,
So
and then
super,
some.
super excited. Yeah. So I
Yeah.
think I covered everything that I wanted to talk about. But yeah,
I just
I'm
want to,
super
yeah,
excited to be here.
I love that. Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
What products did you start with?
So I'm doing the Slim Restore Block and the Sleep Gummies.
Oh, okay. I
Yes.
love that. Because I was thinking maybe gut health because I had some of the same things as you, like the sugar cravings and the crappy sleep and the night sweats and the gut health combo helped me with those. But I can totally see how the products you're using would as well, just a different way. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, that is so cool. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that. And I love your heart. Like, thank you for not like thinking that you have to, have used it for a few months before you can tell anybody. Like, let them follow along. Let them join you early in the journey.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's working. It's working. So I'm excited.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank you so, so much. I'm going to hop over now.
You muted yourself,
I muted
Meghan.
myself as I did that. Thank you. Kaylee, can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Hey, we have chatted a little bit in Messenger, and I'm
We
so happy
have.
to see your face. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
good
hopping
to
on.
be here.
Yeah, so tell us what products you use and what are some of the wins you've seen so far?
I am using the gut health system.
Okay.
I am 3 weeks in, 4 weeks
Okay.
in. Stacy, I don't remember. I think I'm on week 3. I'm in week 3. Um, I started because I was feeling pretty crappy. To be honest, I was on my own gut health journey. Stacy
Okay.
messaged me, I feel like a year and a half ago, asking me to join her in what she was doing, and I blew her off. I had done all my research. I was taking my supplements, and um I reached out to her recently and was like, this what I'm doing isn't working. They were
Mm,
all a lot of the same supplements that are in the gut health system. They're just crappy,
okay.
to be
Or
honest.
yeah, or sometimes
Yeah.
it's just like the blends, you know. I love that
Yeah.
Plexus does blends. So a lot
Yep.
you are not alone. There's a lot of supplement snobs out there who have blown off Plexus and then they're like, fine, I'll try it. And they're like, oh my gosh. Right. Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So I had done my research. I was doing all the things, and I didn't think I needed that. And then things weren't working, and I felt like I was reversing, and like my symptoms were coming back, and I was gaining my weight back, and I was so frustrated. I was like, fine. So I messaged Stacy. I'm like, I'm ready. Like, let's do this. So yeah, I'm way less bloated. I've lost almost all of the weight that I had gained back over the winter. Um,
Wow. In
uh,
3 or 4 weeks.
yeah,
Amazing.
um, I I gained back 15. I'm down 10 of that in
Wow.
the couple of weeks. And I feel so much better, so much better. Yeah, I'm way less bloated. The energy, holy crap. I
Right.
like don't even know what to do with myself half the time. There are days I message the girls, it's raining out. It's normal days where I'd be like, oh, I don't have to go to work today. I make my own schedule. And I would
Okay.
stay home and watch movies. I'm like, I have to go to work today. I don't know what else I would do with myself. And like, the energy is overflowing. It's fabulous.
And that's just with the gut health system, or are you using like active or something?
Just the gut health
So
system.
no caffeine, caffeine free and overwhelming energy.
I'm generally a busybody anyways, but
Okay. Yeah.
it's finding where to put the energy. And now I'm like, oh, I got this to do. I can do this.
Yeah.
So it's really nice.
Um, I know many women have deep cleaned their kitchen. I'm one of them a few weeks in, right? And I
Yeah.
talked to one lady and she's like, I'm peeling the wallpaper off that ugly bathroom. And I was like, go girl. So yeah, you're not alone. That's so cool. I absolutely love that. And you shared too. Did Stacy force you into that?
No,
No?
no.
Okay.
I mean, she hustled me with a vibration plate and an aura ring,
Okay,
but
well that helps, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Again, just like Kari, I've been looking at the vibration plate for well over a year. So it's been in my cart, and I haven't pulled the trigger, so I'll take it. Absolutely.
Same, same. Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. I love that. And so was it out of your comfort zone? What did you do? Did you message some friends? Did you put up a post? How did it go for you?
So I think I just put up a post
Mhm.
about what I was about to try. I hadn't even gotten my products yet.
Oh,
But I was
mhm.
pumped about it, to hopefully change where I was going. Um, so I just put up a post, and that got some feedback. Um, that's in my comfort zone. I'm a regular poster, so
Okay. That
yeah.
makes it easier. Yeah. Yeah. Well, keep doing that because there's so many people that will, that are watching and they haven't yet reached out, or they're not brave enough to comment because they know you'll probably reach out. And so they're watching, and some of them won't even hit the damn like button, and they'll message you 2 years in, and they'll be like, I've been watching your story, your post, and you're like, you are? Because I had no idea, right?
Yep.
And they'll be like, I'm ready. So that's amazing. And I love it when you guys share from the beginning. I did not, and I wish I had. And I just admire that so much, because then people get kind of invested and like to join you and like follow along, and it inspires them. So, so I think the takeaway here from Kaylee and Kari is like, just share what you're doing from the beginning. Let people join you, let people follow along, and don't make it weird. Like, don't overcomplicate it. Right. Yeah. Well, thank you, ladies. I really appreciate your time, and we are done a little bit early, so that's cool. I keep muting myself. We're done a little bit early, so that's cool. Does anybody have anything to add or comment on before we hop off? Questions, comments? No? Oops, I'm going to scroll so I can see. No? Anything,
I'll
Stacy?
hop in.
Okay, yeah.
So I wanted to go back to where Jodie, the frozen shoulder.
Yeah.
In the last like 4 months, I've suffered twice with the frozen shoulder. So I'm like, ooh, okay. So those were good tips. Also, seasonal allergies are huge. I could only hope that mine like go down a lot. And then, oh, her husband being like, yep, I need that. That same thing. My husband was like, sign me up. I'm in. Like, let's do it. So he gets his package tomorrow. And then I went on and ordered the X Factor kids for my youngest son. And then my oldest daughter, loves the pink drink, but I have the hunger control. She doesn't need that. So I just ordered her a bag of the regular bio.
Right.
I love
We're
that.
all in. We're all on.
Yes. All on board.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's so helpful to hear the different on these calls, the different things it's helped people with. Anyone else struggled with allergies that no longer needs allergy meds? Carol, me, Stacy, you didn't struggle with allergies? I can't see everybody.
I didn't. I did. That was one thing I didn't have.
You didn't? All right, sweet. Sweet.
No,
And it
I
was
had
like
the
a
menstrual
surprise.
issues.
Yeah. What's that, Carol?
For me, it was a surprise. I didn't know that it was going to help. And I just all of a sudden noticed I didn't have allergies. Like it was probably a solid year because I started in August. It was probably the next summer or maybe even some, but it was all of a sudden I'm like, wait a minute. I'm not all stuffed up and I'm not itchy. And like there's so many weird little things that you find that you're like, I had no idea. I used to have these dots all over my skin and they're gone. Like it's the weirdest thing. Like it was like it's a fungal thing, and I never thought about it, but it's gone. Not that I'm weird. I'm okay.
Yeah, I used to have the allergies too, and then somebody comes. Like I said at the beginning, I'm a dental hygienist. I get a patient in the chair, and they're like, "Oh, my allergies," and I'm like, "Oh, it's that time of year, isn't it?" Like, because I'm not feeling it. Yeah. It will. Things that just like Carol said, Kaylee, things that you don't even think about. You'll have, like Jodie said, those aha moments. Like, oh, that's not a thing anymore. Yeah. So that's so awesome. All right, ladies. Well, thank you all so much. And tune in next week. We'll have more testimonies and more.
I don't think we're having one next Tuesday.
Then don't tune in next week or you'll be here.
It is the last day of the month. We don't do this on the last day of the month because we are all so like so much. Was that a good example?
With all the sales, yes. Last day of the month is like the
crazy month.
To those of you that are new to sharing, last day of the month is the day that those people, those procrastinators, are like, okay, fine, I want to try it. I want to get that sale. So you're like, yeah.
It is.
All right. Well, sweet. Don't come next week because you'll be all alone, but come the week after.
Next
Yeah. Tuesday at 8:15 Eastern Standard Time. Thank you, ladies. It was nice to meet you in person, Kaylee, and nice to meet you, Kari. And I can't wait to hear how it goes, how it keeps going for you. All right. And thank you, Jodie. You guys have a good night.
Good night. Bye, Jodie. Whew.